Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well today. I just wanted to take a minute to discuss cravings. This is something that I hear from my clients, from people on my Facebook page, that it's their one main issue they have with losing weight or keeping weight off is cravings. So I'm just going to go over a few common reasons why you might be experiencing cravings and how to get past those. So you can lose weight and keep the weight off and live a healthier lifestyle, have more energy, etc. So the first one is sleep. Sleep is super important, and it often gets put on the back burner. People are busy, they're working, they have kids, there's a lot of things to get done, so oftentimes we're staying up too late and getting up too early. But really, sleep is really important. It's really important to set a schedule for yourself. Try to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time so that your body can feel that normal rhythm and that you're able to fall asleep faster and stay asleep. And the reason sleep is important as it relates to cravings is that you really will feel hungrier if you're sleep deprived, and you're going to try to deal with the fact that you're feeling sluggish or tired by replacing it with calories, and that's just like a natural phenomenon, and you will feel hungrier. So if you're getting adequate amounts of sleep, that is number one in helping your cravings. So some other things to try as far as sleep goes is you can try meditating before bedtime, and just also make sure you shut off your TV and screens at least a half hour to an hour before you go to bed, and never take your phone with you to bed. So that's sleep, very important, not to be ignored. Number two is stress. Everyone's under some kind of stress. We can try to avoid it, but stress is inevitable in most of our lives. Minimize this stress. People often have cravings because they are stressed, and their way to deal with stress is to go to the pantry, grab the chips, grab the cookies, the chocolate, whatever, to try to deal with their stress. This is so common, and next time you're stressed and you go, try to go to the refrigerator, instead of doing that, take a walk around the block, take a minute, a 5-minute meditation. Do what you can do. Even just like taking deep breaths, and when you're going to the refrigerator, the pantry, think to yourself, like, am I really hungry, or is that just my feelings talking and the stress talking? So stress is number two. If you have other ways of dealing with your stress, then you'll be less likely to go to the refrigerator or the pantry to try to deal with that, because you know what, it's not going to help. It's not going to help with the stress levels. Eating is not the answer. Exercise is important to bring our stress levels down. So whatever you prefer for exercise, if it's yoga, if it's walking, if it's running, those all help to deal with our stress levels. So number three is processed foods. Processed foods are addicting. They are produced by these companies with that in mind, to make you addicted to them. So they're high in salt, high in sugar, high in fat, and they want you to come back for more. So the more you can get those out of your diet and focus on whole foods, fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds, and whole grains, that will help. Eating whole foods, and I'll get into this more later, also gives you fiber, helps you stay full longer. And once you get away from the processed foods and you start changing your diet, your cravings will go away. Your body will become more used to those foods, and you'll have less cravings for those sugary, salty foods than you did before, because your body gets used to this new way of eating. So that's number 3, is staying away from processed foods. I'm talking about ultra processed. I mean, yes, pasta and bread, those are processed, but if you buy whole grain pasta or pasta made from rice, brown rice, if you're buying bread, whole grain bread or pita bread, those are completely fine. I'm talking about ultra processed foods: cookies, crackers, cereals, chips, those kind of things, candy, of course. So the number 4 is make sure you are eating a balance of your carbs, your fiber, and your protein. You need all of these areas. Do not cut out carbs. That is something that I hear from people, that they try to cut out carbs to lose weight. It's not the answer. As long as you're eating high quality carbs, complex carbs, that is what you should be doing. You should not, avoid potatoes or avoid bread. As long as it's whole grain bread, try to go for the brown rice over the white rice. Those complex carbs they're fuel for your body, and they contain fiber, which is great for digestion, great for helping fill you up. They are not to be taken out of a diet. It's completely okay. Eat as much fruit as you want. Eat as much whole grains, beans. Do not cut out the carbs. So balancing those 3 groups, making sure you have a balance of carbs, fiber, and protein. And I'm talking about, when I say protein, I'm talking about plant-based protein. So I'm talking about, really all fruits and vegetables have protein. But some that are higher in protein are the legumes and the beans, your lentils, your chickpeas, your black beans, pick the ones that you like the best. Also, tofu is great, tempeh, those are some other really good sources of protein. But you can get protein in any vegetable. Any vegetable has protein, even broccoli has protein. So there is no such thing as a protein deficiency in this country. We do not see that. So that is something that I've been meaning to bring up on this page as well, because addressing a plant-based diet, people always ask me, well, where do you get your protein? As long as you're consuming enough calories in your diet, you will get plenty of protein. Unless you're like a high endurance athlete, then you can use a plant-based protein powder, and that's totally fine too. But for someone like me, I'm a runner, I am a vegan, 100% plant-based, however you prefer to call it, and I have no trouble getting my protein. So building on that, number 5, the last thing is whole foods, and I said before that I was going to mention whole foods. And I kind of touched on it a little bit when I'm talking about balancing carbs, fiber, and protein. But mostly, get a variety of whole foods in your diet. So, any kind of whole foods is good. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and legumes. But don't always eat broccoli. Don't always eat don't always eat spinach. Try to bring in as much variety into your diet as you can, and the reason for that is the variety feeds your gut microbes, and your gut microbes are responsible for basically everything that goes on in your body and all your body's functions, including your immunity, and including your digestion especially. So the more variety you can get in your diet, the better. But focus on those whole foods and getting away from the processed foods. And I think that you'll find, if you go through each of these steps and you really decide to adopt a whole food plant-based diet, that those cravings will go away, and you'll figure it out, and you'll start craving healthier things. You'll start craving, an apple, or a sweet potato, or those whole grains like brown rice, quinoa. Those are all awesome ways to fuel your body, And I just always tell people, look at food. Look, when the next time you're about to eat something, look at it and look at that food and say, is this food going to fuel me? Is it going to make me feel good? Or is this, hurting me? And just be more mindful about what you're putting in your mouth. So that's all for today. That's all my rant. But I just wanted to talk to you about the issue of cravings, because it is so common and it's something that I hear a lot. So those are all some steps you can take to get your cravings down and start losing some weight, start feeling better, having more energy. So give all those things a try.